Mark chapter 4, verse 1. And he began again to teach by the seaside. And you have to remember that Jesus had been traveling. He'd been talking. He had been sharing. And here it says again, and again he began to teach by the seaside. And there was a gathering unto him a great multitude, so that he entered into a ship. And I can just imagine that this multitude kind of encroached about where Jesus was standing. And the farther he backed up to kind of talk to people, he found himself standing in the water. And they put him on a ship, floated him out a little bit so that he could talk to everybody all at the same time. And he entered into a ship and sat in the sea, and the whole multitude was by the sea on the land. That would be a really cool thing to see, y'all. Verse 2, and he taught them many things by parables and said unto them in his doctrine. And verse 3 is where we begin the parable of the sower. Hearken means, listen up, everyone. Take note. Behold, there went out a sower to sow. And it came to pass, as he sowed, some seeds fell by the wayside. And the fowls of the air came and devoured them up. The ground wasn't prepared. It's kind of like the side of the road or the side of your walkway. It's been beaten down, trodden down. It'd be like trying to sow in Georgia clay if you didn't prepare it. It did nothing but feed the birds. And I know somebody's going to start singing, and I heard it myself when I wrote the note. Feed the birds. Never mind. Moving along, verse 5. And some fell on stony ground where it had not much earth, and immediately it sprang up, because it had no depth of earth. But when the sun was up, it was scorched, and because it had no root, it withered away. The ground was covered with stones and rocks. Seed sprouted up quickly because it didn't have to work really hard for it. But the moment the sun came up, it didn't have any roots to it. It didn't have anything to hold it in place. It had no moisture from the ground, and so it just kind of burnt up. Verse 7, and some fell among thorns, and the thorns grew up and choked it, and it yielded no fruit. And other fell on good ground, and did yield fruit that sprang up and increased, and brought forth some 30 and some 60 and some 100-fold. The ground was prepared. No rocks, no thorns, no stones. It had been prepared. It was, if anyone's ever gardened, when you start to garden, you've got to prepare the ground. You've got to go out and till it up, and you got to pick the stones, and you got to do all this stuff, different things to make sure the ground is prepared to not just plant in, but can nurture the developing seed so that way you can bear fruit. Mark chapter 4, verse 9, he said unto them, he that hath ears, let him hear. That's my prayer this morning for all of us. If we have ears, let us hear the message today. Because we do understand that not everybody is going to hear it. And when he was alone, verse 10, they that were about him with the 12 asked him the parable. There were times Dad would tell a story, and after the crowd kind of dissipated or we were sitting in the office together, we'd all kind of lean in and say, okay, explain it to me. What did that mean? And so the 12 was asking Jesus the same thing. It's like we shared this parable, but why? And he said to them, unto you it is given to know the mystery of the kingdom of God. There are mysteries of the kingdom of God. But here's the thing. Jesus was telling the disciples, wait a second, where you're at in your journey, you're supposed to understand them. You've been given a revelation. You've been given a nugget of truth. You've been given something so you understand the mysteries, the details, those hidden revelations of the scriptures. But unto them that are without that time frame, that granted moment of revelation, I teach these things in parables. That seeing that they may see and not perceive, and hearing they may hear and not understand, lest any time they should be converted and their sins be forgiven them. I'm like, okay, Jesus, you're talking in parables. Why? Why not just tell it straight? He didn't want it to be from a sense of excitement right at that moment. He wanted it to be revealed from their heart.